Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Laguna Seca for this GTE online race here on Project Cars 2. We've got Darren Exchanger starting this one on pole position, Katie Spalding alongside him, and lights are out and away we go. And it's a great start there from Katie in that BMW, gets away excellently, and now she's on the outside of Daryl. She's already in the lead coming up towards turn 1. There's a Porsche in the wall in the background there. There's a few guys who seem to have got involved in a bit of an exchange. There's a massive crash coming down the hill. It looks like KPC's involved in that one. Also, no, not KPC. KPC wasn't involved. It was Killer Crons, Evo. It looks like a couple of the new guys to the lobby have also got involved in that one as well there. Nit's been involved in that one. So, big crash there coming down the hill. Richie looks like he got caught up as well. And Richie spins it coming through turn 3. Oh, he got very close there to binning it into the wall. He just about gelled onto it, but not the start that he would have wanted to this race. But Darren Exchanger completely oblivious to everything going on behind him. Leads the race by 1.8 seconds. Katie Spalding in second. She's got JDM Gunslinger and Abel Initial right up his chuff here as they come up the hill towards the corkscrew. You've got Christian running in 5th place, Trin Mao in 6th, Fridge Fernando there running in 7th position at the moment. Looks like Super One's gone straight on over the corkscrew there. Absolutely was 4 wheels off the ground there for a moment as he flew through the corkscrew, but he keeps it going. He's managed to stay ahead of KPC for the time being. KPC very wide there coming through the third to last corner. He's now got Dave right up behind him as they come up towards the final corner of the first lap. But Super One there going also. Oh no! Fridge Fernando gets loose out of the last turn, and that has caused a domino effect, which has managed to catch out KPC and Super One in the Porsche and the Ferrari. So that would not have been what those guys would have wanted. You can see there the front bumper of that of the back BMW there of KPC's wobbling around a little bit. Super One there caught up in all sorts of problems. It looks like Fridge Fernando's had an off there coming through turn 1. He's been passed, and Fridge Fernando's round. He's spun it coming through turn 3. Yellow flag coming through turn 3. Watch out, guys. Oh, he gets collected. He gets collected there. Oh no, Pythor collects him, and oh no, Richie does the same thing. So Richie and Fridge Fernando there coming together. Fridge Fernando retires from the race. He's had enough for one race. I imagine he's probably watching from the pits, but Darren Exchanger leading this race by 4 seconds ahead of JDM Gunslinger. Able International has got ahead of Katie Spalding up into P3, but it looks like Able International presumably acknowledging some kind of error there, because Able International's let Katie Spalding back through up into P3. JDM Gunslinger currently running in P2, 4.6 seconds behind the race leader Darryl Exchanger though, as he comes on to his 3rd lap here of this race. JDM Gunslinger, we know from previous races he's had difficult starts to the races, but he usually stages some magnificent fightbacks. Will we be seeing another one of JDM Gunslinger's incredible comebacks here at Laguna Seca? We know that Darren Exchanger has a penalty from the race director. We're not sure what the nature of that penalty is. We don't want to get the graphic up on the screen because it looks absolutely hideous when you're watching the race, so we'll just leave that one to the imagination and find out at the end. Katie Spalding trying to defend from Able International here as they come up towards turn 4. Is Able International going to try and go around the outside of Katie? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to at the moment, but Katie gets wide there coming through turn 5, and Able Initial up the inside up into P3. Good move there from Able. Will Katie be able to fight back? Oh, she gets a little bit wide onto the dirt there. Coming down the exit of turn 6 up towards the corkscrew. I think that is Able Initial up into P3. Now Able Initial will be able to try and chase down JDM in P2. There's Christian currently sat in P5 at the moment, lapping a little bit quicker than Katie on the previous lap, so I'm sure he'll be fancying that P4 pretty soonish. Trin Mao sat in P6, just a second ahead of Evo in 7th. You've got Dave Moore trying to defend from KPC. KPC on a mission here after a tricky start to the race. I'm sure we wanted to limit the damage. Oh, it looks like Dave gets loose, and that is KPC up into P8. And that is Nitro Volt following him through up into 9th place there. So KPC and Nitro Volt off a position each. Dave Moore down 2 positions there to 10th place. Richard having a mare by his standards, running in 11th place in this one. He gets a little bit loose coming out of the last corner. Super One might fancy his chances coming down the pit straight. Here they come down this little kink towards turn 1. I wouldn't really call that a turn. That's a flat out left-hander which leads to turn 1. This is turn 1. You see here Richie holding on to that P11 for the time being. There is Pythor down in P13, and Killer Kron's currently running in P14 at the moment here in this race. Daryl Exchanger leads by 4.7 seconds over JDM Gunslinger. JDM not closing in by as much as he would like to, but Daryl Exchanger has a penalty. Just seeing on the timing screens, last lap Daryl Exchanger did a 1 minute 25.8, but from what I can see on the timing screens, he pulled away on that last lap. So by my deductions, I would assume he must have at least a 4-second penalty from the race director, because he was not 4 seconds slower than JDM on lap 3. There was no way in hell that he was 4 seconds slower than him, so he must have at least a 4-second penalty. I believe he already had a penalty before that as well. So obviously, process of elimination, I would imagine Daryl Exchanger would need to have at least a 5-second penalty, which means that JDM is in striking distance if he can find a couple of tenths. So this could be race on here for this P1. Still very much wide open. It looks like Katie Spaulding has had a bit of a moment there coming through turn 2. She's lost lots of time and places there. She's down to 7th place. She was running in P4 before that, but Christian, Evo and Trin Mao all up a position each. Very unfortunate there for Katie Spaulding. We've had a retiree from the race. It looks like Killer Crons has called it a day here. Maybe the heat here in Nevada, in the Nevada desert, getting to him a little bit. Pythor looks like he's closing in on Richie. Richie has had a total disaster in this race. This is very unlike Richie 95. I don't know what's going on with him today, but it's just not really falling for him. Obviously he had that P1 finish at Texas Motor Speedway earlier on this evening, but since then things really have not fallen for our LMP2 former champion here at Motive Racing. Just has not had the rub of the green at all. Gap at the front, 5.7 seconds between Daryl Exchanger and JDM's Gunslinger. There's Abel Initial, currently P3, 12 seconds off of the leaders, 3 seconds back to Christian. Christian 3/10 slower than Abel Initial on the last time around. Evo though, lapping quicker than anybody else out on the track apart from the top 2. Lapping in the 1 minute 22s. It was a 1:22.8 last time around from Evo. He was 1.7 seconds quicker than Christian. He has a little look to the inside there on Christian, trying to distract him in the mirrors if he can. Trying anything he possibly can to try and get in the head of the man in P4 at the moment. Both of these guys are closing a little bit on Abel Initial in 3rd place. I'm sure Evo will be wanting to get this one done as soon as possible. He's so much quicker than Christian at this point in the race, and they see Christian getting a little bit onto the dirt there as Evo looks to the outside, and he gets it brilliantly done around the outside of the corkscrew before they even got to the corner. Christian powerless to defend from that one, and Evo is up into 4th place, into some clean air. He can now set his sights on Abel Initial and a podium place here at Laguna tonight. Great stuff there from Evo. Dave currently sat in 8th place. He's got Katie hunting him down, but Katie's had a tricky race so far in this one. She was up there at the sharp end in the early stages of the race, but she's dropped off considerably throughout. Just little mistakes come in and here and there. We'll see what the lap times are this time around. Is she closing in a little bit on Dave this time around? We'll have to wait and see in a few moments' time. Oh, she gets a little bit loose coming out the last corner. Let's keep an eye on the split times here. Dave does a 1:25.6, Katie a 27.3, so Katie's fully off the pace at this point. Daryl Exchanger, despite the penalties that he's got, is pulling away at the front to JDM Gunslinger. Gunslinger just does not seem to have the pace to match him quite at the moment. Not quite sure what it is, but just doesn't really seem to be able to match him right now. He has got a 5-second gap back to Abel Initial in 3rd, so he should be safe in that one. Looks like they feel pretty strung out now. There aren't really any battles going on. It looks like Katie Spaulding's retired from the race, and so has Pythor. So 2 retirements there on that last lap. Obviously those two not, for whatever reason, just not wanting to continue on with the race. JDM Gunslinger last time around was slightly quicker than Daryl Exchanger. We know Daryl's got a penalty of at least 5 seconds, so if JDM can get within that range, get within striking distance, he may have a chance of taking the victory here at Laguna Seca. Let's just have a quick look at the penalties. I know I don't like doing this, but he's only got a 2-second penalty, Daryl Exchanger, so I don't know where I got the idea that he had a 5-second penalty from. Goodness knows, but yeah, he looks pretty safe for this P1 then, in that case. Oh, as we see JDM Gunslinger getting out of shape there, coming through the penultimate corner. Yellow flag, watch out Able Initial, because JDM Gunslinger is currently limping round. So Able Initial, it looks like she's looks like they're going to look to the inside here, try and take the P2 position. Able Initial is up the inside, takes that second place off of JDM Gunslinger. So JDM Gunslinger now under heavy threat from Evo for the final podium spot. What's going to happen here? Onto the brakes. Oh, Evo quite late on the brakes, has to take evasive action there on JDM Gunslinger. Very close racing here. JDM Gunslinger has gone horribly wrong for him. Was running in P2, looked pretty much set for that one, but a little bit lighting up the rear tyres, coming through the penultimate corners, possibly put pay to his chances of taking that P2 position. He's now got Evo all over the back of him. Evo looks to the inside. Oh, the Corvette makes a lunge up the inside. A bit of bang in between the doors there, and JDM Gunslinger holds on to the position. I think Evo had to just get out of it at that point. He realised that he was engaging and just thought better of it. Thought, no, I'm not getting involved in this one. As you were between these guys. Daryl Exchanger about to start the penultimate lap of this race. He has driven absolutely superbly tonight. What a performance from this man. He's been absolutely spectacular. He's just driven off. He's ridden off into the sunset. And looks like he's going to get the reward. He's going to take home the W, barring any extremely major catastrophes. JDM Gunslinger though setting his sights on what's in his mirrors behind him, because Evo's looking very racy indeed. He's going to be fancying getting on a podium here in this one. Oh, JDM Gunslinger very loose out of that corner, turn 3. But it looks like Evo's getting sideways. Oh, how's he held on to that? I do not know. He's just somehow managed to catch the rear end there. I thought that that Corvette was going round, but he has somehow kept it pointing in the right direction. Brilliant reflexes there from Evo. And now JDM Gunslinger looking at what's ahead of him here. Able Initial currently holding on for that P2, but JDM Gunslinger really hassling him as we can't tell towards the corkscrew. Is he going to go from the inside? Oh, he thinks about it. Able Initial just about holding on for that one, but JDM Gunslinger really fighting for this one, and this has allowed Evo to pull back onto them once again here. So Evo having seemed all but out of the podium fight earlier in this lap, now finds himself right back on the rear end of these guys again. Incredible racing from all 3 of these guys. Second, third and fourth, Able Initial, JDM Gunslinger and Evo. And it's going to go down to the wire here as they start their final lap of this race. There is the race leader, Daryl Exchanger, just coming up towards turn 5 now. He's got about half a lap to go. We'll flick back to him once he's coming into the final couple of corners in about 30 seconds time. But this is an unbelievable battle between these guys in second, third and fourth places. Who is going to come away with the best of the rest tag? One of these guys is going to miss out on a podium spot, and I reckon it's going to be Evo, because he has a penalty from the race director. You see the red splotch next to his name there, which means that he will lose places, or he will lose time for certain. once we get to the checkered flag. Oh, it looks like JDM's up the inside of Abel, up into second place. Bit of duel bagging, but he's got the position done. Where is Daryl Exchanger? He's coming into the final turn. And here he comes out onto the pit straight for the final time. Daryl Exchanger is going to take his second win, or third win actually, of the night here at For Motive Racing's Community Races. What a night he is having. He's in a league of his own, Daryl Exchanger. What a performance from him. Once again, hat-trick for Daryl Exchanger. Abel Initial looks like... yeah, JDM's made a big mistake there, because JDM's down to third place. So Abel Initial inherits that P2. Great drive, runs out of fuel. No, I don't know. Definitely slowed down over the line, but didn't run out of fuel. So, don't know what's going on there. JDM comes over P3. Christian inherits P4 by virtue of Evo's penalty. Trin Mao is going to come through into the last corner now. It's going to be P6 for Trin Mao. Holds on ahead of Dave. Good battle between those guys. We missed that one. We were too busy watching the leader and second, third and fourth. Nitro comes over P8. KPC is going to finish in 9th place here in this race. Here he comes over the line. Richie, a disappointing performance from him. Very unlike Richie to be down in P10. 40 seconds off with the leader. I'm sure he'll be back fighting in the next one. And Super 1 classified in 11th place. That is that for the race at Laguna Seca. What a race from all of the guys. Abel Initial, JDM Gunslinger and Christian put on a hell of a show. Hats off to all of them. But Daryl Exchanger, the big winner tonight. A second a lap faster than anybody else. The only person who was near him in terms of pace was Richie. But Richie, for some reason, just had no consistency in the end. Over a minute behind the leader. But well done to Daryl Exchanger, Abel and JDM Gunslinger